I think our life before was pretty typical of most married couples. I would say we got up, we worked really long days. I was in the restaurant business and he was in finance. So we kind of had opposite schedules. We started thinking like, how can we change this up a little bit? How can we make freedom more of a priority?
When Lindsay had the idea of going on this RV trip, I said, well, whether I'm sitting in an office in downtown San Diego or I'm in Yosemite, either way, I'm still on a computer. So it's no big difference. So it was easy for me to go along with it.
And so it's an easy decision.
Yeah, easy
basically.
decision, yeah. If I'm on a computer, I'd rather be out in nature.
To go from kind of being surrounded by people constantly to an RV situation where you're super secluded sometimes. We kind of always came up with like a little code word we would say like when we felt like we just needed to like drive down the mountain and spend the day working from a coffee shop.
Yeah, coffee definitely actually became a very big part of the trip, surprisingly. But one of the things that always made us feel comfortable is when we got to a new location, it was like waking up the next morning, making a really good French press, having that really good coffee just like kind of calm you down and make you feel like you're at home.
That feeling of like, this is what we love, this is something that brings us like that clarity and that grounding feeling. It kind of just clicked for us in that moment, like, hey, we could do this, you know?
And so we said we want to do a coffee shop and really fully committed to it. Every single stop that we went to, we always had that question, is this a good place for a coffee shop? Is this where we'd want a coffee shop? And then by the end of the trip is really when we kind of brought it all together.
Pages were flipped and stuff was scribbled on different pages or recipe ideas were written down. We wanted to bring something bright and fun and comfortable.
So the name Craft in Common comes from the two most important parts about our shop. The craft part is all about our crafted drinks. So we want to make sure there's lots of layers and there's lots of thought that goes into those drinks. And the common part is to illustrate the vibe we want you to get when you come into our space. We want to be a common environment where everyone feels like they're a part of a family.
When we thought about what drinks we would serve in the shop, the thing that kind of brought us back was just the experiences that we had on our trip, and we really wanted to incorporate that into each drink. For example, the Pacific Fog was inspired by a trip we took to Oregon to find a lavender field and found ourselves stuck in the middle of a hailstorm. So we made our way out to the coast, and the salty air and the fog rolling in off the bay kind of soothed us. And so we wanted to incorporate those flavors and that experience into the drink. The Dunes is one of my favorites. The cinnamon and the orange and all of the colors of that drink kind of just really remind us of the reds and the orange colored rock formations, specifically in Utah. The Wild Child is just an ode to that freedom that we kind of long for. So the Wild Child is made with rose syrup, vanilla, and cardamom, and it doesn't play by any rules.
So I know that when we did our cold brew, we wanted cold brew traditional, but then we also wanted a nitro cold brew. We love how that nitrogen creates a cascading effect. People see a handle come down, they see something come out of a faucet, they get excited.
I think with any business, there's always that kind of voice in the back of your head that says like, are you gonna fail? As we were kind of unlocking the doors that morning, like, oh man, what's gonna happen today? We have no idea.
We knew what we wanted, we knew how to execute it. The one variable that you can't control is the people you work with. Because if the staff was comfortable, I knew everyone else was gonna have a good experience.
We wanted it to kind of feel like you were almost in our home, like kind of walk right up, you'd peek behind our counter, they see the smiling faces of everybody working behind the bar, and you see every part of the process. You see us grinding the espresso beans, you see us tamping, you see us brewing the shot, you see us composing the drink, you kind of feel more connection to the person that, you know, you're taking the order from. We want it to be kind of fun. We want you to feel like you can pick things up and touch them and look at them and interact with the product and your friends. And working with local retailers like Corksicle or Rifle Paper Company, that gives us the opportunity to collaborate with local businesses. The more we can support other people trying to achieve their dream, the more likely we are to get closer to our goal. I think looking back, we have a tendency to kind of jump blindly into things that we're passionate about, whether it's our move to California or RV trip or even opening this shop. We kind of look back at all of it and we're just like, wow, I can't believe we did that.
I think as we grow, we really want to create more ways for people to experience Craft in Common, all with the sole purpose of making the space more available for people. Really creating that third spot that they can come where it's not their house, it's not their work, it's a place they feel comfortable that they want to share with their friends.
I definitely would keep your eyes on Craft in Common for sure.